Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever the case may be. It's Mike here again for your viewing entertainment. I'm your humble servant, Mike S. Miller. Elijah. Um, and good news, everyone. I have, by popular demand, created a new tier on the IndieGoGo, which let's just go look real quick. Is the new perk of the comics. I don't know why that's stuck there. That's weird. Comicsgate Alliance cover. So this will be another perk. I'm only making it available here. Only as this one version. So the $25 signed edition. I don't want to go in and create a bunch of new perks. Just some people. I put a poll out and like 88% of you wanted a third cover, and I think half of those who wanted a third cover wanted the Comicsgate Alliance cover. So here it is, made available for you. Yeah, if you know, and it seems like I've sold a couple. Did I sell a couple of them? Let me see. I just launched it, so let's see real quick. Which one is it? 5 claimed? Is this one? Yeah, it's this one. So there's 5 claimed. That's not bad for the last few minutes. I can't complain. It's bumped me up to $79,506. So hopefully that will sell enough to be worth me actually running another cover, because it's not free to put a new plate in and run another cover. I also added, I changed the video on this to the the Lone Star theme song. So anyways, you guys can check that out. Check out the new perks. Check out, in case you missed any other perks, flip through it. Still, Lone Star for the Troops still available. So please, if you love our troops and want to see them have copies of Lone Star for free, hit that one up. Otherwise, let's get to the topic of the day. This is actually going to have to be a fairly quick video because I got to go get my daughter from school. I was on Bill Sienkiewicz's Twitter here, and I see this article from Apple News. I'm like, Apple News? That's Comicsgate? Apple News? That's kind of a big deal. But, I clicked on it and went to Polygon. I'm not sure how big of a site Polygon is, but what? Pretty big? Pretty big? Polygon is pretty big, my son tells me. So let's hide that. And let's get down to brass tacks here. I just gave this a skim through because, like I said, I just saw this, and I do have to get... Come on, scroll, you stupid. Hey, look, more support from IndieGoGo. Right on. So let's see. Top comics creators denounce Comicsgate for the first time. Writers and artists took this weekend to condemn harassment and bigotry in the comics community. So right away, you can tell that this is a very unbiased piece. And of course, they use Darwin Cook's art. They are dragging Darwin out of the grave to fight against Comicsgate. This is so disgusting on every level. It's frustrating. I mean, and yes, I know Darwin's wife is a protected class. Widows, to me, protected class. You can't go after them. I don't care what they say about us. You don't go after widows. But dragging up Darwin for this, yeah, okay. Anyways, so let me get a swig of water before I do this because I'm already mouth dry. High-profile creators in American comics industry have been slow to condemn the rise of Comicsgate, a campaign to save the comics industry by reducing the diversity of comics both behind the scenes and on the page. So right off the bat, a completely inaccurate description of what Comicsgate is. For those who are new to Comicsgate, who have come here I did put a link on Bill Sienkiewicz's Twitter. Comicsgate is a fan-led revolution against the propagation of politics, not just politics, but propaganda, forcing far left-wing ideologies, which I know all you left-wing SJWs truly believe that anyone who disagrees with you is evil, stupid, or insane. But honestly, most of the country thinks like us. It's just you very loud people who have managed to worm your way into the control of our media, our entertainment, and now the comic book industry who think that way. So if you could just open your bigoted little minds up a little bit to allow for the fact that not everybody agrees with your agenda, then maybe you wouldn't see us as the enemy, but as fellow Americans. But this weekend, a wave of harassment aimed at a legendary creator's widow prompted a number of writers and illustrators to rally together in making statements standing against intolerance in the comic book community. That's right, stand against intolerance by being the most intolerant people in the world. On August 21st, a Twitter user posted a clip from an interview with deceased comics legend Darwin Cook, best known for his work on DC The New Frontier, and tagged it #Comicsgate. This caught the attention of Cook's widow, Marcia Cook, who thoroughly denounced the movement. Yes, she did, but I mean, let's be completely honest. Everything Darwin was saying in the video was exactly what every single comic skater says. So he was off base by claiming absolutely what a dead man would or would not have said. I agree with that. But saying that what he was saying was 100% what Comicsgate agrees with, that is absolutely true as well. So it's a weird, fuzzy line you don't want to cross. But let's move on. Her response provoked a string of threatening tweets, some going so far as to imply that her objection to her husband's name being linked to Comicsgate was some sort of false flag that she had been coached or bribed into making. No, I think she was most likely misinformed about what Comicsgate actually is, as most of these people are. Most of these people don't have a clue. They haven't watched any of our videos. If anyone has ever watched an Aloha Hour or most of the people on Comicsgate, they would know it's not about what they're claiming it is. It is not a hate movement. It is not even about getting diversity out of comics. We love diversity in comics. That's why Diversity in Comics, this channel is called Diversity in Comics. We love diversity as an organic part of a story. What we don't like is having it shoehorned into stories where it does not belong. The examples are numerous and myriad, and I will not go into them. I just don't have that much time. Like Gamergate, Comicsgate has its prominent personalities associated with it, among them Ethan Van Sciver, a former DC Comics artist who regularly collaborated with former DC Comics Chief Creative Officer Jeff Johns on titles like Green Lantern and The Flash. Van Sciver has a history of online bullying, which has been documented extensively, and has used his YouTube channel to promote his interviews with controversial figures in genre media. Controversial like Mark Waid? Oh, no, they mean Vox Day, a writer who led several successful campaigns to game the voting of the Hugos. I don't know what they're talking about. And prominent Comicsgate voice Richard C. Meyer. Oh, by the way, the Vox Day thing, inviting someone you disagree with on your show to dialogue doesn't mean you agree with him. He had Mark Waid on his channel. So they don't mention that, oddly enough. Who runs the not ironically, the aptly named Twitter and Diversity and Comics Twitter account, Diversity and Comics. Yay, another IndieGoGo sport. Thank you. Meyer also hosts a YouTube channel on which he made numerous racist and transphobic statements in regards to comics creators, including Ta-Nehisi Coates, Black Panther Captain America, and Magdalena Visaggio, Eternity Girl. Disclosure, in this writer's own experience, I've clashed with prominent Comicsgate figures in the past and have been on the receiving end of harassment campaigns as the result. Yeah, these people don't understand what the word harassment means. They think that any kind of disagreement or critique or insult, frankly, insult or vulgarity. And granted, I will fully admit that some people in Comicsgate have been. The camera's not on. Nobody's seeing you dance. Goofball. Um, yeah. People have said, you know what? There's no lock and chain. There's no, there's no gatekeeper. There's no moral authority. Comicsgate is the simplicity of Comicsgate is that the only thing that this disparate group of people agree on is get your damn politics, your propaganda out of our entertainment, right? There's black, white, gay, straight, trans, freaking leftists, not too far left because they're all freaking Marxists who agree with the people in charge. But Christians, atheists, Buddhists, whatever. It's an absolutely all-inclusive group of people who just want our comics to be entertainment and not propaganda. That's all we ask. That's all we ask. In fact, there is a meme going around right now showing all these hardcore professional campaigners who are anti-Comicsgate, and it's just a block of white men. And it shows the professional Comicsgate people, and it is like the United Colors of Benetton over here. I swear, in my contacts with Comicsgate people, I think there's minorities are way oversampled in Comicsgate. But the thing is, we don't care because it's not about your race. It's not about your sexual orientation. It's not about your religion or lack thereof. It is just about good comics. Marvel and DC going down this road, Marvel's more so than DC, but they are destroying the hobby and they're destroying the very market that they built. And they refuse to look objectively at it, just like this writer who is clearly a super anti-Comicsgate person. Anyways, after Marsha Cook asked Van Sciver and his followers to tone down their transphobic attacks, yeah, Van Sciver dodged the issue and recommended she mute the tweets, then called on SJWs to apologize for harassment she was receiving. Marsha Cook's experiences and Van Sciver's response seemed to be the motivation that many high-profile comic creators needed to speak out about Comicsgate for the first time. Jeff Lemire, Black Hammer, Sweet Tooth, I still don't know who this guy is, was among the first, saying, Comicsgate, hey, another supporter, thank you. Comicsgate is based on fear, intolerance, bigotry, and anger. Absolutely wrong on every front. Well, no, you know what? I will give him one. Anger. It is based on anger because these fans are mad that the people running Marvel and to a lesser extent DC and to a huge extent Image are destroying a hobby that they have invested most of their lives into. So there is anger. I will grant you that. Bill Sienkiewicz, legendary New Mutants artist and co-creator of the X-Men character Legion, followed with a Facebook post which denounced the movement and referred to Comicsgate ideology as promoting hateful, misogynistic, and plain old ugly dogma. It's so redundant. This whole thing is redundant. It's just the same argument over and over and over again, and I'm just gonna not repeat the argument back because it's boring. After Sienkiewicz's post, other high-profile creators joined in. Many copy and pasted a phrase from a viral tweet crafted by Tom Taylor. Oh, Tom. X-Men Red, All New Wolverine. Injustice 2. Hey, I drew Injustice 2. There's no place for homophobia, transphobia, racism, or misogyny in comics criticism. Along with their own words, sending more of a personal message than a simple retweet would. I don't know if she mentions this, But yes, so a great number of Comicsgaters retweeted the exact same thing, along with adding the little hashtag at the bottom, "We are Comicsgate," or "I am Comicsgate," something along those lines. Because yes, everyone can agree to this, right? Right? Because it's not about that, you freaking. I wish they would just open their ears and their minds and their hearts to the truth, because it's really frustrating. As of this publication, the list of those who shared Taylor's message include Fabian. Oh, come on, Fabian, you too. Gail Simone, who I don't know personally. Nicola Scott, Jordan D. White, Cullen Bunn, Jamal Eigel, Jerry Duggan, Jody Hauser, Michael Ark. I must be so out of it because I don't even know any of these names. Chose to modify it to remove the word criticism. Yeah, because why? Because criticism was so directly targeted at diversity in comics. I swear, this why. You know what? Diversity in comics. They all act like he is like the grand master and leader of Comicsgate. The only reason he gets the most attention is because he said some very egregious things in the context of a what he deemed a dark roast, which uh, I wouldn't say things like that. And most of the Comicsgate people wouldn't say things like that. But nobody's going to tell anybody in Comicsgate what they can and cannot say. But they act like he's this great grand leader, and therefore everyone in Comicsgate upholds and believes in the kind of dark humor that he was spouting on that thing. The fact of the matter is, I mean, dude, Rich doesn't lead. He barely communicates. He sits on his YouTube channel. He he does his videos, he makes his commentary. He's just a fan and a critic, and now a professional, because you guys have forced him into publishing his own hugely successful IndieGoGo. Thanks for that, by the way. You guys have created the movement of publishing in Comicsgate by pushing diversity in comics to put up or shut up. And he did, and we all did likewise. But that doesn't make him our leader. That makes him it made it so that he proved a business model. That's what he did. Ethan came in, replicated the business model. Mitch came in, replicated the business model. I came in, replicated the business model. This business model works. We have created a brand new market to reach directly to the audience with our content, with our comic books, and we don't have to go through Marvel or DC and their little SJW gatekeeping editorial staffs to get there. So thank you very much for creating the very market you are now lambasting. We very much appreciate it. But yeah, so DNC, he just kind of sits there and he says his thing on YouTube. I defy people to like find him, because the various Comicsgate talking heads on YouTube, we all share the space, right? We all come in, we try to signal boost each other, we go on to each other's shows, we chat, we have a good time. It's like a great big, clubhouse. Everybody's welcome. Left, right, center doesn't matter. We've got liberals in there. We've got, girls. Oh my gosh, we let girls in the clubhouse. So everyone's welcome. And but DNC is never there. DNC, I think I've seen him on and we've done hundreds, if not thousands of videos by now as a conglomerate of different Comicsgate voices. I think I've seen DNC on like 3 other streams. And granted, I'm sure there's some I haven't seen. I have not seen a lot of them, but he never comes out of his hole. He just stays in his channel and does his own thing. And that's not leadership. That's it's like trying to say that Rush Limbaugh, because he has the biggest channel on the radio, is the president of the United States. It's just not the fact. It's just not a fact. He may be a thought leader. Like he may see a thing and see through, see through to what is actually being promoted that other people may not have even thought of, but once they hear it, they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even see that, and it's totally true. So as a thought leader, perhaps, but then we all are. Everyone is a thought leader. Anytime you have a thought that is something unique to you and you speak it out loud, you are a thought leader. And if someone repeats that, same thing. So anyways, Comicsgate, white supremacist, patriarchal hate group, blah, blah, blah. Now the light's on. We're all publicly talking about Comicsgate, how trash, blah, blah, blah. These people. Only 2 comics publishers have addressed Comicsgate officially. Last year, Vault Comics, I don't even know who they are, while Alterna Comics founder publisher refused to do so. These statements come at a time, Comicsgate list and hash and blah, 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 blah. Commissioner, Spider-Man, Milo Manara. Oh, who cares about that stuff? ICV2, Comicsgate. In his 2014 ICV2 piece, If Comicsgate Ever Happens, It Will Be Catastrophic, by Rob Salovitz, made an eerily accurate prediction of how the movement would eventually coalesce around points of controversy or criticism in comics, including Frank Cho's outrage covers, inspired by Manara and Marvel artists publicly comparing social justice warriors to Nazis. In August 2017, the event, often listed as the inciting incident of Comicsgate, occurred when a group of freaking milkshake incident. I don't want to hear about that crap. It's dumb. During minority, one of the high profile Batman writer Tom King. Okay, Tom King, who states that comics is the medium of the outsider and the outcast, the nerd who won't fit in. His remarks were met with pushback that they could just as easily apply to Comicsgate supporters as they could to the affected. Culliman's statement, I might go so far as to say most people associated with Comicsgate aren't bad people. Drew criticism for ascribing positive motivations to these knowingly participating in a campaign built around harassment. Oh my. So there, right here is your black, white, and red all over. If you are not against them, you are also evil. These people have no sense of nuance. They have no sense of I'm losing the word. Apparently, I have no sense of whatever it is. No sense of debate of being able to realize that people have varying positions on just about everything. Everything is so black and white to these. Actually, I should say it's red to these freaking communists, because that's what they are. Let's be realistic. Anyone who is this far down the SJW rabbit hole is either a communist or, as the communists used to call them, useful idiots. So if you are an anti-Comicsgater, you are either a communist, an SJW, or you are just plain and simply a useful idiot who doesn't know what the hell you're talking about. You should inform yourself and make up your own mind instead of letting a bunch of left-wing people dictate what you believe. Please, please do your own research. Think for yourself. If you come to the same conclusion, I will not have a clue where you're getting it from, but you are free to have it. Just don't come into Comicsgate thinking automatically, well, Bill Sienkiewicz said this, so obviously it's true. No, he is flawed. He is wrong. He is a wonderful artist, though. I do absolutely love Bill Sienkiewicz's art. I really wish he would open his mind and come to the truth. Comicsgate eruptions come at a blooming time for diversity and inclusivity in comics. Titles such as Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur don't do great numbers. But more than make up for it via scholastic book fairs. Oh, that's, I believe, where they force schools to buy their books. Something like that. Yeah, I can see where they would get great numbers there. DC Comics is expanding into the young readers market with this upcoming blah, 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 blah. Criticism is a vital part of any mature art form, but the biggest voices in Comicsgate aren't comics critics. In many cases, such as Van Sciver and Meyer, they're creators themselves. And as Tom Taylor himself later addressed, Comicsgate doesn't stem from comics criticism. As journalists, the comic critic and podcaster Jay Aiden said in a thread on the nature of art criticism this weekend, criticism isn't editorial feedback. It's not for the artist, although the artist can and do make use of it as they proceed. It can intersect with lobbies or campaigns, but that's not what it is at its core. I thought criticism was criticism. I'll leave in about 7 minutes. Don't worry, it's just on the screen. I have about 7 minutes left, guys. So, no. Comics criticism is exactly where Comicsgate stemmed from. Tom Taylor, I don't know if we're friends anymore, buddy, but you are so freaking wrong about this. It's not even funny. Comicsgate is a fan-led revolt. The people on YouTube, the different people, Captain Cummings or Yellow Flash or that Umbrella guy, these are all fans who plunk down hard money every week at the comic book store, who are criticizing the crap that you are churning out of Marvel and DC. More so Marvel, again. DC on a slightly slower path down into hell. So you're just 100% wrong, and I really wish you'd pull your head out of your freaking... Anyways. Oh, is that it? That's it. That's how it ends? That can't be how it ends. Is this a commercial? No, that's how the article ends? What a horrible ending to an article. This guy can't even write. This clown can't write his way out of a paper bag. Oh my gosh. All right. Let's... Oh my God. That is pathetic. So let's